Today on the channel, we're playing with power, Princess Power, with the Mondo Collectibles Deluxe Edition, Shera.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Mondo Deluxe Edition unboxing and review. And today we've got the 1/6 scale Shera, Princess of Power. But for all your Masters Universe needs and a whole lot more, make sure you're hitting up Entertainment Earth. Use discount code Kyle, save 10% on all in-stock items. Anything over $39 does ship free. And of course, this was a Mondo limited timed collectible. I think this was up for pre-order for a week or two. Speak Now or Forever Hold Your Peace edition, I guess we would call it. And I did pick this one up. Now, some of you guys may have got an email if you did pick this one up, but there was an email that went out saying, hey, there was a defective head with this one. So I'm not sure exactly what that is. Maybe we'll find out in here. But they are sending all customers a brand new head free of charge, I guess, which is a good thing to do. Mondo seems to be really on top of that kind of stuff. They know they got one shot at these things. They want to make them right. They are pricey, high-end collectibles, so it's got to be done. And who'd have thought here in 2023, new year, new me. Old Kyle, he's got Princess of Power. He's buying a deluxe Princess of Power. Well, the reason is I had a Hordak already. I got a He-Man. I got a Skeletor. I felt like I needed Shera to balance out the force a little bit. I don't know, but it's a wild time as we're seeing here in 2023. But we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. Beautiful packaging on this. This one does come with a very nice slip cover, and it does have the Crystal Castle going on. Oh, the Crystal Castle. I'm probably the only one in the world that always wants to call this the Crystal Palace when it is the Crystal Castle. Of course, we all know, I know you guys all know, the Crystal Palace is where Buck Owens, great country singer, hee-haw legend. Look up Buck Owens. Look up Dangerous Don Rich if you want some good music there. But it always reminds me of the Crystal Palace that Buck Owens performed at and called home. But very, very cool. You get the Shera kind of logo from her headdress there. Nothing too fun, but I do have the slip cover. Definitely have to save that, and you got to always save this Mondo packaging. The packaging is too nice to throw away, definitely on these high-end collectibles like this. But let's take a look at Shera in the package here. Beautiful packaging. You kind of got that He-Man crest there, almost like an Iron Cross. I don't know, but Shera, Princess of Power. Beautiful artwork in there. We're going to see that same artwork when we flip the packaging around. We got the 1/6 scale collectible. Same thing on the other side. Masters of the Universe on top. Of course, you get that 40th anniversary logo, right? Or not 40th. I'm going back to the origins. We got the Mondo exclusive logo here, and it is raised. Looks really nice in silver. On the back, this is what I'm talking about. I like that looks of that. You got Shera and all of her fallen enemies behind her, just railing off, ready to go. And not the biggest Shera guy as a kid. I didn't watch much Shera. Like a lot of boys in the 80s, I think. I don't know. Maybe I was different. Who knows? But definitely looks really good right there. Love the packaging on these as they use the power of magnets. Oh, magnets, so powerful, yet so underrated. Where would we be without magnets? And the magnet slip cover just goes off like that, and you get some beautiful, beautiful action figure photography over here. Then you get the figure in here, always nicely protected in these Mondo figures, looking really, really good. So I really do like this packaging on this one. Like all the Mondo figures, always top-notch, always looking really good. So without further ado, let me get this out of the package. Let me unbox all this stuff, and we'll be back with Princess Power. All right, now we're playing with power, Princess Power, and let's dive into the Shera Mondo 1/6 scale deluxe figure. And let's start with the accessories as we usually do. As usual with these Mondos, we do get a nice stand. Really is a doll stand at the end of the day, and I guess these are pretty close to dolls. Very nice, got a little decor on the bottom, but very nice stand. Always appreciate a stand, you guys know that. I don't care what action figure we're talking about. But let's dive into some of the stuff here. One thing we got is we got a little friend. We got old Cowl. Very annoying. I guess Shera's version of Orko in a lot of ways, but we got Cowl here. And man, Cowl's got some heft to him. He's not just a cheap plastic. He almost feels like a paperweight, but really good look on him. Very 80s kind of rainbow going on there inside of his ears. A very acquisitive look, but also a very friendly look in his face. Of course, got the beak, got the yellow eyes, the black in the eyes, the big old eyebrows, red color throughout, nice fur sculpted in here. Got the very owl-like feet, owl-like hands. Looks really good, and we even get a little articulation on him, so his arms do move. I think that might be it, though. No head, no legs, but you get a little bit. So he walks the line between a statue and a figure, but I like this as a throw-in. Would have loved to seen He-Man come with Orko. Apparently that wasn't in the cards. Maybe we'll get him down the road. Who knows? But cowl looks pretty good. I'm okay with this. This works for me. So we get a little extra figure there. It's a 2-in-1 figure pack. Who knew? But then let's dive into some of the other stuff. I guess we'll start with hands like we usually do. And Shera, she didn't come to throw punches. She came to slap some people. And she's got 2 slapping hands on her. But she does, thankfully, come with 2 fists of fury like we always see. And then she does have 2 gripping hands. And much like some of the other ones, we got so many different accessories here. Probably going to have her with the gripping hands holding some of that stuff. But always nice to get a fist or 2 ready to go. Everybody loves a fist, unless it's in your mouth. That's for sure. So that's the hands right there. We do get some very iconic weapons with Shera here. I guess just going into these. Very iconic hairbrush / axe. What a vehicle for mass destruction right here. Big old axe handle on the side. And I guess you could say, hey, is it a comb or is it a big spiky end? I guess you can justify it yourself. But it is a little comb. You can trim up your beard a little bit with it, things like that. But it's got that kind of nice bronzish gold kind of look to it. And you got some highlights to it, everything else. A little bit spiky on the end. 13-year-olds, be careful. But very nice. But very iconic. When we think of Shera through all of her figures over the years, I always do think of this number 1 when I look at her weapons. And speaking of weapons, of course, He-Man's got his power sword. Shera, she's got her sword of protection. Oh, it keeps her protected. And that's exactly what we got right here. And we got the power sword, or the sword of protection. So it is very Shera-like. We've seen this before with other Shera figures. I don't know if it's iconic. I guess it is iconic. It's just not as iconic to me as the power sword. But it definitely looks like it got the long blade on it. The nice blue jewel in the middle. All kind of a silverish, grayish color throughout. Looking really good. Nice little sword there. Then we do get another one with a sheath, and it does, of course, pull out. You get the golden one. This matches the comb that we got earlier. Very similar, but very different at the same time. Got the nice leather-wrapped handle. Got the gold on the bottom, the blue jewel. Everything fits in here. I like the fur at the top. It is, of course, not real fur. It is sculpted. Bronzish gold throughout. Then you got the leather wrappings all over. Looks really, really good, so I am here for that. So we got 2 different swords of protection here with Shera. Then, of course, we get Shera and her shield. So you gotta like a shield, of course, very much like He-Man. He's got his shield. Shera has her. Once again, very iconic like shield. Bronzish gold color. Got the nice plastic leather-looking straps. And, of course, the blue jewel right there in the middle. Looking really good. Nice sculpt to it. And a nice weight to this as well. So I'm here for that as well. Then it's Cape season. Lando Calrissian said, I deem Cape season to be a worldwide phenomenon, and that's what we got here. And Shera, she has her cape. Happy to report you got a nice bendy wire throughout this cape. Always great to see bendy wire. Got a little silver metal hooks on the side here. Hook this onto Shera. So if you want your Shera with a cape, you can stick that on there. Very, very nice red. Definitely feels really nice. Feels a little bit more silky on the underside. Got nice gold trim throughout. Very, very nice cape. For Cape season, of course. Absolutely beautiful for Shera right there. Now we dive into a few other things that we got going on. We do get another belt. So it looks like she's got 2 belts here. I think this is the classic belt. By no means am I a Shera expert, but I think this is the classic, more classic belt on her. Once again, got the gold and the bronzish color. You got the blue jewels throughout. Choose your own belt adventure. What do you want? The more thin one, or do you want the bigger deluxe one? Like I said, choose your own adventure, whatever you want to do. Then we get down to the masks here, and I guess instead of extra heads, we got extra masks. So I guess we're going to walk through these masks with the head combinations. That's why we'll do it. We do get the head, or the mask for the head, the tiara, whatever we're going to call it here. It does look really nice. Of course, if I remember correctly, Shera, she could flip them upside down and back and forth, because one time they'd be a mask, one time they'd be just kind of a tiara. And you flip it around, oh, who is that? Oh, that's Shera. That's not Adora. There's no way it is. But it does look really good on this one. Like we see the gold bronzish color throughout on this one. You got a red jewel on this one. Very Hawkman-esque on this one. And then the one that comes stock on the head here is a little bit different. Very similar but different. This is a little bit more gladiator, a little bit more battle leaning to me. This one's a little bit more fashionable for what it is, in lack of better terms. But both of them look really good. This one is much more gold. This one a whole lot more bronze. But definitely Shera all day long. And now these things come on and off very easily. You pop them off the sides. As we can see, Shera's got a spot in her forehead to stick these in, and then spot on the side of the head. They just easily plug in, plug out. And that one does not seem to go upside down. Well, let me see. Can I get it here? Yeah, so you can technically flip all these around if you want to. I believe that is the case. So this one flips around. How about this one? Can this one? This one I don't think will flip around. This one looks a little well, I don't know. I might have to take that back. What do you know? They all can work either way. So it might get a little confusing if you can't remember which way is which. But definitely do pop in. They slide in very easy. They plug right into that forehead, like I said. This is probably the one I like. I like this one a whole lot. That does look really, really clean. Looks really, really nice on her. So we do have that one. And then we get the OG one right here. So if you remember back to the OG, even the Origins OG Shera, this is more equivalent to that. And this does pop in the same way, I believe. So it does, but I see some issues. Okay, that's why we get an extra hair piece. We get a couple extra hair pieces here. So we get this hair piece, and I believe that plugs right into the forehead. Hopefully. It is bangs. It's bangs with your Shera. How do you prefer your Shera? It's some bangs for her, and I think you needed those on up. It looks like, I don't know. I don't know if you put those on first or second, I guess. Let's find out here. This does not work upside down with the bangs. It'll stay on, but it just looks ridiculous. It does not clip in, so you're definitely not going to get it that way. Pull the bangs back out. Put those back in. Oh, man, I'm just changing hair around. It's crazy. It's crazy here. What are we doing? We're really playing with our dolls today is really what we're doing. But we can put this on here, I believe. Let's see. Boy, fighting me. Fight me, Shera. There we go. That's a little bit better. So it does go up. Very traditional-like, of course. There is the Adora version, and you would flip it around. Doesn't seem to flip around very well. It can work, but not really that good. So that is a little bit of an issue. The hairpiece will come off with that. And then we're talking hair pieces here. I mean, you got this hairpiece. Let's see, how does this come off? Oh, there you go. It just pops off, so it does clip into the head. So they're really going the way of no different heads, no extra heads with this one, just extra hair pieces, which actually does work, and that's probably a smart way because you're probably going to get more hair pieces than you would get heads most of the time. And this one extra hair piece right here plugs in same way as the other one, I think. I think so, at least. Plug it in this hair piece. Finally trying to get this thing, and it just pops right in there. Very, very tight fit there, but it does fit. And this hair, there is differences in the hair piece here. They look the same, but one's got a little bit of a spot in there, and I believe that is if you want to clip this in the back. Of course, you clip it together, and you got a spot for her sword. So once again, choose your own hair adventure with this one. And I'm going to stick these bangs in here because, heck, why not? Makes her look a little bit better with these bangs, at least here, blocking that big spot in her head. But a really, really good-looking head on this Shera, especially this way. Just plain Jane without the mask going on there. It does become a little bit of an eyesore if you have it just like this because of the two holes in the side of the head. Would have been nice if there was, like, hair plugs for that. That would have looked really, really good. But man, oh man, that does look really, really nice from dead on. And that gets down to the head sculpt on this. Beautiful head sculpt. Nice red lipsticks going on. Nice bright blue eyes. The hair really matches the skin tone color really, really well. Skin tone matches throughout. Getting down to it, she does have a necklace free floating there on her neck there. Probably wouldn't want to remove that one. Then you get down to her armor throughout. She's of course got the shoulder gauntlets. She's got the straps around the leather. Once again, you get the white and the goldish kind of bronzish color throughout on this thing. Down to the forearm guards, her nice skirt. Of course, the belt we talked about is removable. Got a feeling that's going to be hard to get on and off. It looks like a very, very small peg hole on here. We know how those things go. Sometimes they're not as tight as we would previously like it. But it does look really, really good. Articulation-wise, we'll walk through that, but I guess we'll describe up. We got her boots here looking really, really good. Got the big old shin guards, knee pad protectors. Once again, the same color scheme going on throughout. Looks really, really nice. All the way down to her shoes. Articulation-wise, of course, head goes side to side, back and forth, up and down. Pretty good movement for the head. Of course, the hair is going to limit some of the articulation. Arms do go all the way around. No bicep cut, anything like that. You get very Barbie-like joints on this one. And, you know, Barbies traditionally, and I got two daughters, as you guys know, they don't have joints at the arm very often. Unless you get the made-to-move Barbies. Oh, those are all the rage these days. But she just got a little of that. So this really does feel a little bit like a Barbie doll. I can see my daughter saying, oh, is this Shera Barbie doll you got? No, kids, this is a high-end collectible, and you're not 14. We got some of that same joint there at the hand. Of course, hand removable, back and forth there. Do get a little bit of waist articulation, a little bit limited. She does get a little bit of those Shera splits, not the deepest of splits we've ever seen. No thigh cut on her. Knee, you got the bend side to side, and then of course the traditional bend. You got double jointed knees there. Ankles back and forth, up and down on that as well. Not too bad. Doesn't really feel very loose. I got a little bit of looseness on my left leg compared to my right, but that's the only thing I could really talk about as far as looseness there. But it does look really, really good. The challenge of this Shera figure for me is going to be deciding how do I want her displayed, what combination, what belt do I want, what weapons, and then what hair combination, what weapon combinations with the hair, and then what tiara to go with. I'm still kind of torn. I'm thinking about this Hawkman version. That could be the one for me to go with. I'm just not really totally sure, not totally sold on this yet, but it's very interesting. Instead of the extra heads to do the extra hair pieces, I think that is a little bit of a stroke of genius. I think that was a good idea. I'll have to figure out, maybe I'll have to reread that email, but they are sending an extra head, so there was an issue somewhere along the way with the head. But I guess, hey, it's not a bad thing to have an extra head for a thing, especially when they throw it in seemingly for free, if you can call it that. But not too shabby as far as I'm concerned here. Now, is this as cool as maybe Skeletor, He-Man, Man-at-Arms, things like that? For me, no, it is not. Obviously, I was more of a He-Man guy than Shera. But if I'm going to have Hordak in my collection, which I guess is the perfect time to bring old Hordak out, if I can get Shera to stand without her... She might not stand without her stand. Oh, there we go. Got it right there. Of course, we got the old evil Hordak right there. We're pulling him out. A very interesting one. Actually, this is one that started my Mondo madness, if you could call it that, as I got him very cheap at a antique store of all places, if you're following along on the old fig hunt a year ago or so. But I do have him right here. And then, of course, we've recently unboxed the brand new He-Man figure. How cool is this He-Man? And that's what I said. I got Skeletor to unbox still. We'll get to him on the channel eventually. But I'll have Skeletor, I'll have He-Man, Hordak, Shera, Battle Cat, of course, Panther. Kind of keeping it to the main crew, but we'll see. You know how it goes. It's a slippery slope, as we all do know. But this Shera, not bad. I guess it is about what I expected. Didn't have super high hopes for Shera. And once again, it depends what kind of collector you are. If you're a straight up Princess Power collector, I think you can get enjoyment out of this. But you could be disappointed in a few things where maybe it didn't bother me because I'm not as big of a fan. I think that's a fair enough way to put it. But what are your guys' thoughts out there? You picking up Shera? You diving into the Princess of Power? Let me know in the comments down below. Of course, you made it this far. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell. And don't forget about Patreon, where you get earlier access to videos like this. Bonus content, exclusive content, and best of all, you do support the channel. You can also support the channel over at ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. And then don't forget to hit me up and follow along on social media. SirPaul64 over there on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. So for the Princess of Power, I am Kyle. See you guys all real soon.